Hi, it's Dina again with another quick tutorial, this time on letter spacing and cursive fonts and how to properly connect them. This is more of a basic video, so I've talked about doing tutorials on the Design Space basics and beyond, and this one is probably more of a basic. A lot of times people have issues with this, and I see it all the time, people asking how do I fix this, so I thought I would just do a quick little video here to show you the problem that happens and how we can fix it when we use cursive writing in our designs. So first we need to go to our text button here and we need to insert some text. I have chosen a Cricut font that's a cursive font called Alexis Maddox MRA, and we're just going to type in the word hello. So I'm going to drag this up here so I can make it nice and big for us to be able to see. And so this line here that pops up when our text box is open is our font editing panel. And the first thing, this is not what cursive writing should look like. It should all be connected as if we wrote it. So we need to fix that. And the first place that we should do this is through our letter spacing here with the vertical alignment. So there's a drop down little up and down arrow. If we keep clicking on the bottom, you'll see that these letters start moving closer together. The problem is that not all fonts will move evenly together. So here you see, if we keep clicking, looks like our H and our E are coming together and the E and the L are coming together pretty well. And that looks okay for them. But this L and this O are still kind of out there, hanging out all by themselves, so we need to fix that. So if we keep clicking the down arrow to pull those in, then it makes the others get too close together and it messes up their alignment. So that's not going to work out either. So the best thing to do is just to get them as close as you can, and then our next thing that we need to do is actually ungroup them and move them manually. So we can just, with it all selected, go up here to, we can hit this ungroup button, or we can hit this advanced drop down button, ungroup to letters. And now if you look in our layers panel, we have each letter is its own layer. So we can kind of start with this H here, and we'll just move it over a little bit. And the next thing before that we should try to move it over is using our arrow keys, because it keeps their alignment. So we just push our sideways right arrow, and that looks pretty good if we hit it one time, and I'm satisfied with that. These still look okay, but this L, we need to move it over. So I'm going to scooch this one over a little bit, and you can see that one doesn't quite line up using the arrows. So now the next thing, if the arrows don't do it, is we have to actually grab it and pull it, drag it with our mouse. So we click on it and we just manually slide it into place to a spot that we think looks good. And when we're satisfied with that, that's good to go. Now we just need to move this O and just start with the arrow keys, moving it over one click at a time until we think it looks good. And there we have it. So that looks pretty good. And so let's say we're going to make this for a, we want to put it on a card or something, so we're going to cut it out of cardstock or something like that to make a card. So it looks pretty good. The problem here is that when we go to make it, to our naked eye it looks good, everything is great. We go to make it, but Cricut has this feature where they want to help save us paper. So this does not say hello. And it's set up this way because our letters are, it's going to set it up in whatever way saves us the most amount of paper. That doesn't help us at all. So we are actually going to cancel out of that. And so when you come back to your canvas, it still looks great, and you're thinking, well, what can I do? I need to somehow, keep these connected. So maybe if we select them all and group them, maybe that does it. See, we can move it around all together. Looks pretty good there. And then we go to make it again, and lo and behold, nope, grouping it doesn't do anything. So we cancel back out of this again. So if grouping doesn't do it, then somehow we need to actually attach these. So before I do, just for purposes of showing you, I'm going to change these to white so that you can see a little bit better. So you can look in here and you see all the little lines where cuts are going to happen. Okay, so we're still connected as one, and we think, well, if we attach them, maybe they'll all stay together. So we attach them, we go to make it, and ta-da, we did it. They're all together the way we want it to cut out. But if we zoom in here a little bit and we take a closer look, those cut lines are still there. This is E is going to cut separate from the H. It's going to cut a line here, and your L and your E are going to be separate. Same thing here and here with the O. You are going to have 5 separate letters, and you will have to manually glue them together on a card or whatever project you're doing this on. So that's really not what we wanted either. So we're going to cancel out of that again. And what we have to do to fix this problem is we actually have to weld. So we're going to weld them together. We'll click weld, and you can already see all those cut lines have disappeared where they were. So then when we go to make it on this one, we zoom in just like it is on the canvas. Those cut lines have disappeared. So that is exactly what we want to do and how we fix our words from being all jumbled up. We have to weld our cursive writing. So I'm going to cancel out of this, and I want to show you something else that happens frequently when we move our letters manually. What can happen? And this question comes up often. So first of all, I do want to state that once you weld something, there is no unweld. So we can attach and detach, we can group and ungroup. There is not an unweld button. So if we make a mistake, the only way to save it is to keep hitting the undo. And so you just have to hope that you didn't make 10 more steps before you caught the mistake and have to go back and try to undo your weld. So here we can see I just click the undo button, and we are back into several layers again. We are not welded. So what I wanted to try to show you is I'm actually also going to ungroup these again. And well, first, okay, so I can't even ungroup them. I have to detach them first, and then I can go back in and ungroup them. All right, so now we're back to square one, pretty much as if we had just aligned them. And let's say we had accidentally moved this O over just a little bit more than what we have here. And to the naked eye, that still looks pretty good. The alignment looks good. So we decide, okay, we're good. Let's go ahead and weld this. And we weld it. Well, it still didn't do it there. All right, so I am going to hide that. I did this earlier on another, the same word, same font, to show you this, because like I said, this does happen often. So we have our word, it's all good to go, we're ready to weld it, and we hit the weld button, and when we do that, now our O has become an olive or something. It looks a little weird, and the empty space in the middle has filled in, and we don't know why that happened. Well, the reason that it happened is because your L and your O are just a little bit too close together, and when you welded it, it just filled in that whole circle. Sometimes if, it could be any inner piece, so like the inner side of the E or the L's, it could have been those if we'd had, those letters too close. So this is a quick and easy fix if you catch it right away, because we just go right back up and hit the undo button until we are no longer welded. and then we take that, we have to ungroup this again here. So we take that O, and it's too close, so we just move it over just a little bit, and then we can go ahead and re-weld that and see how that works. And there we have it. Our O is fixed. We can go in here, and if I'll just change it again color-wise, and you can see the cut lines are gone. It's going to cut one continuous word, and that's the ultimate goal that we were trying to do here, was to space our words together and to weld them to where we can cut them in one single piece of paper. So like I said, this happens often. I see this question come up all the time in Facebook groups, and people are frustrated and they can't figure out how to fix it. It is an easy fix as long as you catch it right away, which then you can just undo it. Or, as I said before, if you just make yourself an extra copy of that word, you just duplicate it before you weld it and then turn it off. And if you ever come across any issues with it, you can always just delete that one and go to the one that you have in your layers panel that is turned off. So I hope this video helped, and you found something useful out of this. This, like I said, is to everybody wants to be able to use the text feature. So this does happen often. I do consider this a basic feature. And since this does come up so often, I just wanted to help everybody out and show you how to properly scoot your letters together and how to weld them so that when you go and put them on go to make it on the cutting mat, they're not all jumbled up. We get the word that we're hoping for, and it cuts out nice for us and looks great on our cards or scrapbooks or whatever projects we may be doing. I will continue to make videos to help you all out, and I hope you enjoy them, and I hope you all have a good day. Thanks.